All right, so let's get right into it today. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the link between cardiorespiratory fitness and prostate cancer risk, especially for men over 40. We'll be looking at a recent study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, and we'll also be adding in some insights from other experts in the field to give you the full picture. So what if we told you that improving your fitness could actually lower your risk of getting prostate cancer? And no, we're not talking about, needing to become some kind of marathon runner or anything. Even making small, gradual improvements to your fitness can make a really big difference.
Yeah, you know what I think is so fascinating about this study
Hmm.
is that they really focused on the changes in fitness over time. So it's not just about how fit you are at any given point, it's about how your fitness level changes. And that seems to be what can really have a significant impact on your overall health.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. This study followed over 57,000 men in Sweden, and they were all over 40 for an average of 7 years. So what did they find?
So basically what they found is that the men who increased their cardiorespiratory fitness, and by the way, that just means your body's ability to use oxygen during exercise. So the men who increased their cardiorespiratory fitness by at least 3% annually over a 5-year period saw a 35% reduction in their risk of developing prostate cancer.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you have 100 men and they all improve their fitness, 35 fewer might actually develop prostate cancer. That's huge.
And that was true regardless of their initial fitness level, right?
Exactly. It didn't matter if they were already in great shape when they started the study or if they were just kind of beginning their fitness journey. The really key factor seemed to be consistent improvement over time. Oh, and here's something else that's really interesting. The positive impact of improving fitness was even stronger for the guys who started out at a lower fitness level.
So it really is never too late to start. But the question I think a lot of people probably asking themselves now is, how does simply getting fitter actually protect you against something like prostate cancer? Well, it's true that this particular study doesn't completely prove that one causes the other, but it definitely highlights some pretty compelling biological mechanisms at play here. Basically, exercise can have a really positive impact on a lot of different factors that are actually linked to your risk of developing cancer. Like, for instance, exercise reduces inflammation throughout your body, and inflammation can actually damage your cells
Mm.
and make them more likely to become cancerous.
Right, that totally makes sense. And I would imagine that having a stronger immune system, which is another benefit of regular exercise, could also help the body fight off abnormal cells more effectively.
Exactly. Plus, exercise also helps to regulate your hormone levels
Mm.
and it improves your body composition. And both of those things are also connected to cancer risk.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this domino effect of positive changes happening throughout your whole body.
So it's not just about being like quote unquote fit in some abstract way. It's about all the different holistic health benefits that come with making regular exercise a part of your life. And speaking of regular exercise, we also have some really great advice from Dr. June Shan, who is a leading expert in urology, epidemiology, and biostatistics on how we can actually take this knowledge and put it into action.
Yeah, Dr. Chan really emphasizes the importance of focusing on activities that elevate your heart rate.
Mm.
So things like brisk walking, swimming, dancing, jogging, cycling, even playing sports.
I've actually heard that dancing is a really great way to get your heart rate up, and it's fun too, so it doesn't even really feel like exercise. But Dr. Chan does also remind us that it's important to start gradually right. We don't want to push ourselves too hard right out of the gate,
Right.
end up getting injured or just completely burning out.
Exactly. The whole point is to build a routine that you can actually sustain over time. So you want to slowly and gradually increase both the amount of time that you're working out,
Yeah.
as well as the number of times that you're working out each week. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're challenging yourself,
Hmm.
but not overwhelming yourself.
I think we've all been there. You start a new workout routine with the best of intentions, and then suddenly your gym shoes have mysteriously disappeared under your bed.
Right.
But yeah, it really is all about finding something that works for you and then making it a consistent part of your life. But before we move on to the how-to portion of all this, I think it's important to just take a minute and acknowledge some of the limitations of this particular study.
Yeah, absolutely. This study was focused specifically on employed Swedish men. So that means that we have to be a little bit careful about generalizing these results to other populations. We
Yeah.
definitely need to do more research across more diverse groups of people, but really see how broadly these findings apply.
That makes sense. But even with those limitations, this research seems pretty compelling, right? What would you say are some of the most convincing aspects of it?
Well, I think one of the most compelling things
Mm.
is that they really focused on improvement rather than just achievement. It's really encouraging to see. that even making small, consistent increases in your level of fitness can have such a significant impact on your health.
Mm.
It's true. And it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. It's not about, being super fit right now at this very moment.
Hmm.
It's really more about consistently taking steps to improve your fitness level over time.
Right, exactly. And that actually brings us to another really important point, which is all the psychological benefits of exercise. I feel like those often get overlooked because it's not just about the physical changes that exercise can bring about, but it's also all the positive effects that it can have on your mental and emotional well-being too. Like personally, I know that after I've had a good workout, I always feel this huge surge of energy and my mood is just like instantly brighter.
Oh, yeah, totally. I can definitely relate to that. And it's not just anecdotal either. There's actual science to back this up.
Yeah.
Like studies have actually shown that regular exercise can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. It can improve your sleep quality, and it can even enhance your cognitive function. It's almost like hitting the reset button on your entire system.
Seriously, it's amazing how much of a positive impact exercise can have on pretty much every aspect of our well-being, and it really is never too late to start reaping those benefits. So let's shift gears a little bit and actually talk about some practical tips for how we can actually start incorporating more movement into our lives.
Okay, so I really loved the advice from Dr. Chan. She emphasizes the idea that it's really important to find activities that you actually enjoy and then find ways to incorporate them into your everyday routine. Doesn't have to be about forcing yourself to go to the gym or, training for a marathon or anything like that. Just find something that speaks to you personally, whether that's, dancing or hiking or swimming, playing sports, or even just, taking more brisk walks.
I love that. It's all about finding the joy in movement and making it a natural part of your life. And I think it's also really important to remember that this isn't about, being perfect or comparing yourself to other people. It's really more about progress over perfection.
Exactly. And consistency is key. It's about those small, sustainable changes that you can actually maintain over time.
Yeah.
You don't have to go from 0 to 60 overnight. Start by just incorporating short bursts of activity into your day, like take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk or bike to work if you can, or even just make a point of getting up and moving around every hour or so.
Those are great suggestions. It's amazing how those little things can really add up over time. But for people who are maybe ready to take it to the next level, what are some resources out there that can help them get started?
Oh, there's so many options. I mean, first of all, talking to your doctor is always a good first step. They can help you assess your current fitness level and recommend activities that are appropriate for you. You could also consult with a certified personal trainer who can create a personalized exercise plan
Right.
based on your specific goals and preferences.
And there are also tons of great online resources and fitness apps available these days.
Yeah, for sure. You can pretty much find whatever you need right at your fingertips.
Mhm.
But ultimately, the most important thing is to just take that first step. And don't forget about the power of social support too, like joining a walking group or taking a fitness class with friends,
Right.
or even just having a workout buddy can make a huge difference.
Oh, definitely. I think having that accountability and encouragement from other people can really help you stay motivated and on track. It's really about building a sense of community around fitness.
Yeah, exactly. Supporting each other on this journey. And as you're going through this journey, it's also super important to celebrate your progress along the way. Every step that you take towards better health
Hmm.
is a victory worth acknowledging.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I just want to take a minute to remind everyone listening that all this information that we've been talking about, it's not just about preventing prostate cancer. It's really about embracing a lifestyle that supports your overall health and vitality. It's about making choices that empower you to live your best life, both physically and mentally.
Right. And those choices,
Yeah.
even the small ones, can really have a profound impact
Yeah.
on your health and well-being for years to come.
All right, so welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into cardiorespiratory fitness and, its potential impact on prostate cancer risk. We've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about the science behind this link. We've explored some practical tips for incorporating more movement into our lives. So what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's been a really fascinating conversation.
For sure.
And for me personally, I think one of the things that's been most striking is just how empowering this whole message is. We're not just passive bystanders here.
Yeah.
We can actually take action and influence our own health trajectory.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so empowering to know that there's this connection between fitness and a reduced risk of cancer. It allows us to make choices that we know are going to support our well-being. Yeah. It's about taking proactive steps and just feeling a sense of control over our own health.
Exactly. And I think that's such a crucial point. It's not about living in fear or getting overwhelmed by all the statistics out there. It's really about taking this knowledge
Yeah.
and using it to our advantage,
Yeah.
shifting our mindset from one of apprehension to one of empowerment.
I love that. And I think it goes even beyond individual empowerment, too, because when we prioritize our own health, we're also kind of setting an example for the people around us, our families, our friends, our communities. It can have this ripple effect.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love that idea of a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Just imagine the collective impact if we all embrace this idea of taking a more proactive approach to our health. It's about creating a culture of wellness where we're all supporting and encouraging each other to thrive.
Exactly. So how do we actually translate this knowledge into action, not just for ourselves, but also for our communities as a whole?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's about awareness. We need to spread the word about this. About the potential benefits of cardiorespiratory fitness,
Hmm.
especially for men over 40. Because the more we talk about it, the more we normalize it, and the more people are going to feel empowered to take action.
Definitely. And I think it's also important to remember that it's not just about sharing the science. It's about making this information accessible and engaging so that it resonates with people from all walks of life.
Absolutely. We need to meet people where they are and present this information in a way that's relevant and relatable to them.
Right. And beyond just raising awareness, I think we also need to create more opportunities for people to actually get moving.
Oh, totally. Like, we need to be advocating for things like more accessible and affordable fitness
Yeah.
programs, more walking trails in parks and community centers. It's about creating environments that actually encourage and support physical activity
Yeah.
and that make it easier for people to integrate movement into their daily lives.
Exactly. It's about creating a culture that prioritizes movement. And that makes it easy for everyone to participate, no matter, their income or their background or their ability level.
Right. And let's not forget about all the social support aspects too.
Sure.
Like joining a walking group
Mhm.
or taking a fitness class with friends
Yeah.
or even just having a workout buddy can make such a huge difference.
Definitely. I think that sense of community can be so powerful.
It really can.
It's about sharing the journey with other people,
Yeah.
celebrating each other's successes, and offering support, during those times when maybe your motivation is waning a little bit.
Exactly. We're all in this together,
Mhm.
striving for better health and well-being.
So true. So as we wrap up this final part of our deep dive today, I want to leave everyone listening with a final thought to ponder.
Okay.
How can you take this information and use it to not only improve your own personal health, but also inspire positive change in your own community?
That's a great question.
It could be something as simple as, starting a walking group with your neighbors, or volunteering at a local fitness center, or even just sharing this episode with someone you care about. Remember, every action we take, no matter how small it might seem, has the potential to create that ripple effect.
I love that. So let's keep this conversation going, keep moving, and keep striving for our best health together.
And thank you so much for joining us today on this incredible journey. We'll be back soon with another deep dive, exploring a new topic, and empowering you with even more knowledge to live your best life. Until then, stay curious, stay active, and keep exploring this fascinating world of health and well-being.